Kill me! I'm here! Kill me!
Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with my review of Lights Out, the 2016 horror movie, and I thought this movie was very well done. I'll say this: the movie has an introduction and pretty much like a cold open, and I thought it was stupendous. Like I absolutely loved it. There's moments in it that are so freaky, and I love the basic concept, and the opening perfectly introduces it, where there's a being or a creature or what have you that is able to do things to you but can't come into the light. So you have this character I should say, that is starts seeing it coming closer and closer every time the light is flashing, and that is just such a creepy idea and so terrifying. And like you can put yourself in their position, and like you'd be absolutely powerless to do it if you couldn't control the lights. And it was done expertly in that opening scene. And then as the movie progressed, I'd say for maybe the first half of the movie, I kind of wasn't with it. Other than that opening, I was kind of underwhelmed. I thought that there weren't that many moments that were legitimately scary, and there was a lot. One of my issues with this movie is there is an awful lot of lights, like running out of juice and breaking, and it was never explicitly stated in the movie that the creature has the ability to do that. And if she, I should say, had the ability to do that, why wouldn't she do that to all lights? And so am I just supposed to buy that in this world, lights just are constantly running out of juice? I mean, I live in the world. I have lights up there, and I have to change them once every several months. And yet in this movie, lights are failing left and right, and that kind of bumped me a little bit. But by the end of the movie, there's the two main leads are younger woman who's probably maybe late 20s, early 30s, and her little brother who'd be maybe around 10, 12, somewhere in that area, 14, I don't know. Who can tell you how old a kid is by looking at them if they have kids that age? Anyways, they when they go to their home, and they spend when they go to at one point they go to their home and they spend pretty much the rest of the movie in their home. From that point on, I was in, man. That they got me back. There was absolutely great moments of like really scary stuff, and they introduced some stuff, like some new elements to like the parameters of the movie, where like, because like I said, like if you see the trailers, you know that this being can't come into the light, but then they have like a black light, and that does something a little bit different, and they explain the backstory of what's getting at them, and I thought that was very well done. The ending I thought was exceptionally good, and I'm really torn on if I want to see a sequel to this movie, because I feel like there's going to be one, because it did well. I haven't looked on like Wikipedia to see if they're working on it, but the ending of this movie didn't really leave it open to one, which, you know, part of me would be perfectly fine with this being a one and done kind of thing, because it was very satisfying in the end. It had a very satisfying ending, and chances are that if they do pick this up, the way that they explain how that's possible will probably be pretty underwhelming, unless, you know, the writer is very creative and comes up with something that you're like, oh, okay, because but I feel like that's probably unlikely. It's like a lot of the time in like the Freddy or the Jason movies, where all of a sudden they're back in the next movie. A lot of the time that's not really explained, other than just like, oh yeah, they're back. And that's what happened. So, you know, if they did that at the end of this movie, the way it ends, that wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. However, I loved the concept and the conceit of the movie, so there's a large part of me that wants to kind of get back to it, because it really was a fascinating movie, as far as like the story of how these things came to be, and it was very, very creepy in a lot of parts. So overall, I very much enjoyed this. I would suggest, if you go to watch this movie for the first time, kind of, you know, just kind of roll with the punches a little bit, because like I said, I do feel like there is a section of the movie that is kind of underwhelming and a little bit tedious. But if you can get past it, which it's not terrible to the point where you're probably gonna turn off the movie, but if you kind of let that go and just get back into the spur of things, or the momentum that comes about once they get back into that house, I think you're gonna like this movie if you're a horror fan. So those are my thoughts on Lights Out. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen the movie, what your thoughts on the movie were. If you were kind of a little iffy at one point and then got back into it like I did, what you think of the potential of a sequel. Please don't give any details of the ending of this movie, but just if you think that that you'd be interested in seeing a sequel, because I hate spoiling movies for people, so I'd prefer it if you didn't in the comments below. But I'd love to hear from you, your thoughts on a potential sequel, and hit that like button. It does amazing things for my channel. It gets my videos in front of people that otherwise would have probably never been aware of them whatsoever. And please hit subscribe if you're new to my channel. I love talking movies with people, and I'd love you to be one of the people that I talk to movies about. Other than that, have yourself a nice day.